And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Fawcett. I'm touching base with you as I do every day. How are you guys doing? It is Monday, 29 days left before the election. 29 days, y'all. We are now less than a month away from casting the final votes of 2024. Will we have a democracy or will we have some strange form of a dictatorship? Anyways, whew, it is scary. I have to tell you, I cannot lie to you. I am feeling some kind of way. I am definitely feeling a little anxiety as we get closer to this election. I can't wait for it to be over. Part of me is like, I wish it was over tomorrow. However, the other part of me is like, okay, we need a little more time to get Kamala, to give her enough people and to push her across the line. Anyway, we can't rush it. We can't rush it. So I see here who is in the room. Aya gets the gold. She is number one. Bonjour. Grande mete. I'm gonna learn French because if I decide to move to Paris, for those that don't know, my friend, my Paris connection has sent me all of these. I have to learn about my visa. I have to learn about all this stuff. So, Adrian, I know you're in the building. I know we haven't had this discussion yet. I usually go through and have a conversation with my son first and kind of let him know what's going on. He probably saying, what is he talking about? But I think he may have heard this. But yeah, but my friend, she sent me all the apartment listings, everything that needs to be accomplished, work visas. And but I had a great conversation with my friends last night, and we went out to dinner. Nia and Membo are in town, and I presented it to them yesterday, and they were like, what Paris? That's too far away. No, that's too far away. And so it is definitely a thought. If Trump wins, it's Paris. If Trump loses and Kamala wins, then it's North Carolina. I might decide to. I'm steering towards North Carolina. We'll see. But either way, the apartment is probably going to be sold in the next year, within the next year. So we're going to get rid of this apartment and start living life. So either in America or out of America, it will be where I'll be. Okay, so number two in the room, Silver in the room is Chris R. She says, good morning. And the next person in the building is Jazzy Jazz. Jazzy says, good morning, everyone. She gets the bronze. Then we have Lady G. G says, good morning. Amparo says, grand rising. Adrian says, yawn. He says, happy Monday, y'all. And Kelly A is in the building. What's going on? Kelly A is in the building. And Amparo says, Ron, I'm in Brooklyn this morning. Maybe we can do tea. Oh, yes. Send me a text. Let me know where you are. We could definitely get together. You know, I'll stop the world and melt for you. Okay, anyway, I won't go there. That was bad. But definitely, Amparo, I will stop what I'm doing. If you want to get together, we have Connecticut Muffins, which is right here in my neighborhood, where I always go get my tea, and I usually work out of. If I decide to work out of the house, I can easily bring my computer downstairs and go to Connecticut Muffins, and we could have tea, or we can be at any of the establishments, either on DeKalb or Myrtle. You let me know. That's right. You let me know. I don't know where you are in Brooklyn, but let me know if it's easy, if it's feasible for you to get to Fort Greene or Clinton Hill. You said, I love your singing, photographing, and I love your singing, photographing, and development, but right after we'll connect. Oh, development. Okay, for photographing and development. Okay, gotcha. And we'll connect with you. Awesome. I'm here. I am here. You let me know. I will stop the world for you, dear. So yeah, so a lot has happened this weekend. A lot has happened this weekend. I have to say, I will applaud myself. You probably can tell I'm still getting over this. I don't know what it is. It's not COVID. It's not the flu. It's not a cold. It's some strange cough, hoarse voice, raspiness, and it's been challenging for the last week. But I spent again. Last week was the first time that I went to bed 3 days in a row before 9 o'clock. I was in bed by 8:50, 8:30, which is not my thing. And but I am been battling something, whatever this is. So I am going to get a doctor's appointment and get a total examination as well. So I've been running. I guess they say you run yourself ragged. You run yourself ragged. So, but it's not a cold. I think that I don't know if I'm allergic to something inside the house. Maybe it's a plant that's giving off something, or my neighbors moved, they sold their apartment. So I have new neighbors who are tearing down walls. And so all the dust is coming out into the hallway. So I just put a towel to hopefully see, in front of my door, to hopefully that the dust doesn't get into the apartment. I think it's because I don't think this started until they started doing the construction across the hall. So it could be related to that. Either way, I don't have a cold. It's allergy-ish. And it's so aggravating. Anyway, you're a night owl like me. Yes, Amparo. Sometimes I'll be sending things out and I'll be saying, "Ooh, Amparo replied." Who's up? Is this Amparo and I? We are the ones that are just like, oh, Adrian says, maybe go see the allergist and make sure you have a list of the plants in your jungle house. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea, son. I need to do that. So I'm definitely going to get the physical done, and then my doctor's going to send me to wherever I need to go. There's some issues going on, and I need to get on top of them. So jungle, when this says jungle house, Ron, I had a few days. It was definitely. She said, Ron, I had it for a few days. It was definitely something out. I mean, but it went away. That's what Chris was telling me. He's had the same thing, and it's not COVID. It's not a cold. There's some kind of respiratory, but it feels like an allergy. But it's like it's an allergy-ish kind of feeling. Because like I said, and it gets worse at night. Like at nighttime, around as the sun sets, then I start coughing like a maniac. And it's like I got my tea, my honey, my lemon, all that stuff is right here. I drink all day. But yeah, it is something. But I'm just kind of aware of I need to check out some things. So it is time for the physical, and so I need to get that. But allergist, that is something I really do need to do, because I find also, as I am getting older, I am becoming allergic to stuff. And when I was younger, I've had very little allergies. Very little allergies. I did not. I had no. I can't even say I had an allergy. I probably had a mild one of some kind, but I did not start getting allergies until I turned 40. So 20 years ago, this is the road I've been handed. Yeah, 20 years ago, I started sneezing, being a that we in the I went away, came home. I was in Africa in 2016. This is 8 years ago. Had no allergies to this tree that's everywhere in New York City called the locust tree. And the locust tree is everywhere in New York City. And I left before I had no allergies. And when I came back home, I had a new allergy. I guess for not being here for so long. But yeah, so allergies come. My mom tells me as she was getting older, she started getting allergies, and a lot of older people that I know, older folks that I know, all said that as they aged, they start gaining new allergies. Uh, One more thing to add to aging. uh, Look, G says you can develop an allergy. I have mosquito allergies. Wow, that would be scary for me because the mosquitoes always find me. Mosquitoes always find me. Jazzy says, "What happened to my mom? She's allergic." Oh, that happened. Okay, that happened to my mom. She's allergic to basically every tree. Yeah, yeah, it happens as you get older. Ah, love it, love it. Oh, Elise, thank you, Elise. I said there had to be something else going on. Elise says there are several new viruses going around. And it's possible because I had a very active last 2 weeks of September. I had the Verizon event, I had the Fort Greene event. I was around a lot of people for like 1 week straight, every day, hundreds of people. So anything's possible. I just know whatever it is feeling like it's getting better until this morning I had a relapse. But I had a great time with my friends last night. We went to this amazing restaurant. Let me tell you what the name of the restaurant is because I have to hold on a second. Will it be in my Google search? Will it be there in my Google search? Hold on. No, it's not in that Google search. Okay. There's a restaurant that we went to last night. And if you are in New York City and you love Chinese food, Adrian, this is a good place to take Nancy. And this restaurant requires a 30-day reservation. It has such a list of people to go to it that the list is 30 days long. And so Nia worked her magic, and we ended up there last night eating some of the most delicious Chinese food. And let me see. Hold on a second. It's called Din Tai Fung in New York City. DIN. Oh, I'll put it inside this. Here it goes. Put the caps on. DINTAI Fung. Okay, so it's in New York City. And I'm gonna put that out there. Okay, there we go. And there you go. So there it is. And the food, the service, impact. It was just an incredible experience. Beautiful restaurant. Decor was excellent. I am one of those people that judge restaurants by the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom to check out. When I do my reviews, for those that know, I do Google reviews, and I rate restaurants also based on their bathrooms, because I always feel, this is something that I was taught by some seniors in my life when I was growing up. They said if a restaurant owner takes care of the bathroom, then they are going to take care of you. because it is one of those areas that, it's lots of traffic and all that stuff. But if the bathroom is immaculate, you are most likely to have a clean restaurant, because the bathroom to the guests can get a little messy. And if they are on top of that, they're usually on top of everything else. Just something that I've learned, and it has worked to be true. But this restaurant is called Din Tai Fung. Such a great restaurant. And it reminded me of going to the Apple store, because it has like a glass entryway above the surface. It's on Broadway, off 51st Street. So 51st and Broadway, on the corner. And you see this like almost like a cube structure, almost like the Apple store, but not as big. And then you go inside, it's glass, all this beautiful light and art. And then you go down the swirl stairs, just like Apple, go downstairs, and it is, yeah. So they're working on something downstairs as well. I just heard some knocking. Okay, but yeah, go there. Adrian says Michelin star 5 times at its Hong Kong branch. Adrian, have you been to this in your world travels? Because this is the only one, I do believe, in the US. I think Nia said it's the only one in the US. They have one in some of the main countries. Yeah, see, Adrian says Adrian and I have expensive taste. Michelin star 5 times at its Hong Kong branch. Nope, it's on the list. So yes, I think you and Nancy could have a date night. Just saying, you and Nancy, my favorite Nancy. And yeah, you guys can definitely do that. It's such a great restaurant. And if you are in New York City, again, you can't just show up. You have to say, I'm going to be in New York next month. Let me put a reservation in, and then you go. So remember that. If you're going to be in New York next month or outward, then make sure you put that on your reservation list of restaurants to visit in New York City. Okay. I've given you enough on restaurants and my weekend, but again, this weekend was good. I rested. I did get some rest in, but here's some headlines. Oh, some headlines for anyone out there. Football weekend. I've been getting into football lately. I should say, I have this in and out relationship with football on weekends, but now that I am home more on weekends, I used to be hiking and cycling and all that stuff on weekends, which I need to get back into. I never really got to see the games because I would be cycling on a Sunday morning and I would be out and about. I miss my cycling club. Just to think about them, I miss them. I need to get back into cycling. But since I've been home a couple of this fall, I've been watching football. So yesterday I looked at the Jet game. The Jets they were getting close. I shouldn't say they came close, but they did make a good comeback. And then the very end, the Jets did not make it. So anyway, how many of you had your favorite teams win on this weekend? Anyone win? G says, take notes. Did anyone have a team win? Did the Giants win yesterday? I did not look at the Giant game. Oh, G says the Texans won. Okay, the one for the Texans. The Texans won. Who did the Texans play against? Shockingly, yes, my Giants won. The Giants won. Oh man, I should have watched the game. Oh, I was like, I'm too exhausted. I'm tired. I think I took a nap. So I didn't get to see because I knew I was going to get ready for that my venture out at 8:30. I don't usually eat dinner at 8:30, but because Nia was able to get an 8:30 reservation, we all gathered and went at 8:30. That's a little late for me to be eating, but we did go out. So the Giants won. Congratulations to the Giants. And the Bears won. The Bears won. The Rams lost, says Mr. DT. And okay, that's good. See, I got all my sports news right here from you guys. But like I did watch the Jets, and the Jets had me. It was good. The interceptions, yeah, all that stuff. So anyway, it was a good game. It was good watching. I could only do one game yesterday. I am not one to sit down for many games and watch, but I did watch the Jets. And let's see here. The Texans beat the Buffalo Bills. Oh, they beat New York. New York has three football teams, technically, because the Jets and the Giants technically are New York teams, but they play in Jersey. And the Buffalo Bills is a New York team, but they do play in New York. So anyway, that's that. Okay, we got some news on it. We got news on deck. And the first out the box, you probably already heard about it all week, all morning. Trump accused Democrats of assassination attempt. This guy is a clear and present danger on steroids. He and his family of trolls and J.D. Vance, his whole little party of misfit toys, yesterday at the rally, which they returned to the place where Trump was allegedly assassination attempt, and went back, and it was absolutely disgusting. Just disgusting on all levels of disgusting. And man, and they say he is only going to get worse because he's losing. As he begins to lose, he is going to get more radical, more crazy, even though you say, how could he be even more crazy? Oh, and then the nerve of them, the Republican Party, his memes were on the Sunday shows, because I was looking at political Sunday shows, and they were all, oh, the Democrats need to tone it down. The Democrats need to tone it down. Meanwhile, this idiot is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is dangerous. It is dangerous. Yeah, the best way to say it, this kind of inflammatory messaging needs to be stopped. Is dangerous and awful. And his his followers probably already believe that. Yep. It was, at least says, he's out of control. He, and Jazzy said, he's a danger, but I'm looking more at the major news outlets because they need to end this rhetoric. They need to stop. They when he's doing that, they should not be airing him. They should not air his craziness. They need to just not put him out there. I agree. Yeah, exactly. There we go. There doesn't need any airplay. Doesn't need any airplay. He is dangerous. He is dangerous. And then we had another Trump meme, or whatever you want to call them, acolyte, said that if Kamala Harris wins, then it's time for civil war. If we don't win by the ballot box, we need to win by other means necessary. These folks are scary. And it's only one, and it's only one side. Only one side. You don't see any Democrats running around the street or, saying, death to the Republicans and yada yada yada. I mean, some of us may have thought it. Like, I know I haven't thought death to Republicans. What I have said, and I've said, hopefully, I wish Elon Musk will build a large craft of some kind, and then they all could leave and go to Mars. That is my biggest dream. But that probably won't happen anytime soon. So until then, we have them to contend with. And thank you. So exactly. Don't get scared. Vote. And speaking of voting, so today is the last day for voting registration for Georgia. So guys in Georgia, make sure you are registered to vote. Today is your last day. So make sure you are registered. There are some other states that also have early voting. Make sure you go and get the list. I did pass one on that was on my threads. So you can look at that, the list of early voting that's happening now and over the next couple of days. Also, Anthony says today is the last day for Texas as well. So Texans, Georgians, make sure you check and see if you are on the rolls, because people have been kicked off the rolls. So especially in North Carolina, Georgia, the toss-up states, they've been working overtime, and people are going to the voting booths, to the voting, and find that they're not on the rolls. Here's something for Elise. Says, go to whenweallvote.com and see the whole list. When we vote. Let me just go there real quick. I can do that right now so we can, it's always a visual is always a good thing. When we all vote. There we go. Okay, so make sure this is what the page looks like. .org. It's .org. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen with you so you'll have it. There you go. So this is what it looks like. Okay, whenweallvote.org. Make sure you go there. When we all vote together. Okay. So make sure you do this. Make sure you go check your voter registration. Register to vote. Countdown to the election. 28 days, 21 hours. Oh. Okay, so here we go. It's a good website. Okay, so check it out. Check it out. Make sure you do that. Okay, so we want to get that in today. We want to make sure we get that in, just in case you all know today is Motivation Monday. And we got the motivation quote for today, and we'll do that in a little bit in the last 15, 20 minutes of this time together. That's okay, good. The next thing in the news today is obviously you guys know about the Israel Middle East, I guess you can say Middle East war, because it's technically a war. This was the anniversary of the we're gonna call it the savaging of killings of Israelis by the Hamas. So that was a year ago today. And so that is something that the world has been looking at. There's protests all over the city. I should say over the country, but there is protests here in New York City. There was protests this weekend, Israel. And again, for all those folks that don't understand you can be on one side and still not like the other side, or be on this side and be for this and not be for the other. The Israeli conflict is a complicated conflict. It is complicated. You could be pro-Israel's existence and yet be also Palestinian pro-existence. You can be for Israel to stop bombing and still care about Israel being protected. You could still be for the Palestinians and being there to support them and on the Gaza Strip, and still say, I want the bombing to stop, and then still be okay with Israelis being safe. It's complex. There's many layers to this conflict. And we know also that there's, how many of you guys saw the 60-minute interview yesterday? I only saw clippings from it. I'm going to catch the replay. I did not. I was out with my friends last night. Did anyone see the 60-minute play? I do love the way Kamala answered that question, because they were saying Netanyahu is not doing anything that you guys are requesting. How do you stop him? How do you get him to do and comply? And she had to navigate that minefield of a question. I thought she did it pretty well. Netanyahu, she did without saying it. He is not a good broker for the Israeli people, but we stand as a country with the people. We stand with the people. And but we do not stand with by the barbaric. I think it's barbaric. And I also know I should say I know. This is what I believe. Again, Netanyahu, I do believe they want to create a war event. He and Trump, a war is to Trump's advantage. And I think they're playing together. When you look at how things escalated after the Mar-a-Lago meeting, that should not have been had anyway. But that's another story, where you are a head of state meeting with the ex-president of a country and sitting down behind closed doors, speaking whatever that was that they were speaking of. And so anyway, this is just my opinion. We all have one. So just letting that one go. Let that one, as they say, air out and breathe. Elise says the language is important. I agree. Let's see here. G says, I had the same thought, Ron. It's funny how all of a sudden all of this is popping off now. Yeah. This is, I believe, Netanyahu is definitely playing in the hands of support. We said this here before. The birds of a feather flock together. This is Netanyahu's friend, which is Trump. They are birds of a feather. They are both avoiding being put in jail. They're also trying. Well, Trump is trying to get back in power. Netanyahu is trying to stay in power. And there's many layers to this conflict, and things that we don't even know that are happening behind the scenes. But yes, Elise says they are definitely working together. No one can tell me otherwise. This escalation did not take place until after their meeting. And then also after they got the funding or for the weapons, for Israel. Anyway, okay, enough on the Israeli conflict, but look for that to probably be. This is the scary part of the month. You know, they always say in politics, October surprise. That is my biggest fear of a war in the Middle East that has become uncontrollable. And but people like Netanyahu and Trump, these people do not care about humans. They do not care about the humanity. They do not care about, I mean, you cannot care about humans when you've killed 40, well, now it's probably 40, it's 40,000 plus on the Gaza Strip. 40,000 plus. And then now you go into another country and you have crossed borders into Lebanon when the United States told you don't do it. And you go into Lebanon. Yeah, that's not cool. And I think Netanyahu should be looked at the same way as Putin is looked at, and crossing someone's border. You have no right to go into someone's country. You could have gone into diplomatically like everyone else has to do it. But to go in and bomb your neighbor is not a good thing. Let's see here. Kelly says Harris Walz interview tonight at on 60 Minutes election special. Oh, so is it tonight that is airing? Oh, I thought it was last night. Okay. I thought the Harris Walz interview. Oh, this is the Harris Walz interview tonight on 60 Minutes. If I'm reading this correctly? I know that Kamala's interview was yesterday on 60 Minutes. Okay, so anyway, that's in the news. That is in the news. Also, Anthony said, let me go back to Anthony. Anthony says early voting in Texas starts October 21st and ends November 1st. The last day to apply for ballot by mail is October 25th. So we're getting all that election news out there. And I see Mimi says also, Mimi, does that mean also Tennessee and Mississippi, their deadlines are today as well for registration? Tennessee and Mississippi. Okay, so make sure we stay on top of that. Hello, Warren. Warren M is in the building. We've lost the war on the rhetoric to Trump. Kamala has the guts to attack back, but people aren't ready for a Black female to touch a white male. Ooh, that's quite. That is a interesting statement, Warren. I see here. Mimi says yes. Okay, yes to Tennessee and Mississippi. This is your last day for registration. So make sure we do that. Okay, what time is it? Okay, it's time to get ready for. It's time to do some Motivation Monday stuff. Also, I just wanted to. I think we got everything. Declaration of Civil War, football. Okay, we got everything. Okay, we got it. We're good. We are good. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to our Motivation Monday. And so you can find this Motivation Monday on my Patreon. This always goes to the Patreon folks first. Early in the morning at 1 a.m., they get the notification that is out. And let me pop this off the screen here. And I hope this encourages someone today. I'm trying to make sure that I give you guys Motivation Monday with the photographer's tip, from a photographer's point of view, but things that we learn in photography that are also applicable to life. I hope I said that correctly. So here we go. And so today's Motivation Monday, get closer to your vision. Today, let's draw inspiration from the legendary photojournalist Robert Capa, who once said, if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. If your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. So one of my favorite photography quotes. And Robert Capa, you'll see some of his photos at the ICP and photographed during World War II. And it's quite fascinating, his story. And we have ICP here in New York City because of Mr. Capa. Okay, so this powerful quote isn't just about physical proximity. It's about immersing yourself in your subject and connecting deeply with the story you want to tell. Whether you're capturing the raw emotions of a wedding, the dynamic energy of a corporate event, or the serene beauty of a natural landscape, getting close enough means 1, engaging with your subject. Build a rapport with the people you photograph. Understand their stories, their emotions, and their perspectives. Their connections will shine through in your images. Will shine through in your images. And this is so. Someone taught me, again, when I first learned photography, and when I finally realized I was going to become a professional photographer, I went to every free class in New York City at Adorama, B&H, Sony, workshops, anything that was teaching, Nikon classes. I went to them all. Anytime they had a free event, because I couldn't afford to go to school to learn photography. So I went to all of these workshops of some of the greatest photographers in our country and some of the world. And one of the lessons I learned that I practice with my clients today is this one. This one is so important as a photographer, but it's also important in anything you do. As a businessman, as a businesswoman, as a teacher, as whatever profession you are, you need to engage with your subject or engage with your clientele. And so I remember, and I do this often, is I will have my clients meet me in Dumbo. There's a lot of reasons why I have my clients meet me in Dumbo. One, it's a beautiful place to photograph my clients, but there's a couple of coffee shops there. And so what I like to do with my clients is I like to take the first 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and just get to know them. Just have a conversation with them and find out about them. Just find out that, why they want to do a photo shoot, what's their family life, or what are their goals, what are they looking for, and just kind of just having a conversation. How was their day, how was their week, just engaging them. The reason why is because an old timer said in one of these classes is that when your client is at ease because you've built some amount of trust by engaging with them, the photo shoot is like that. It's so you can take all the great pictures you want because now the person is already at ease. They know who you are, you know who they are, you've already had engagements. Because a lot of times if you're the photographer and and this is the first time they're ever meeting you, there's a lot of still tension of, I don't know who this person is, I don't like my picture taken. A lot of folks don't like pictures taken of them. So you want to break down those barriers, but the way you do it is through engagements. Engage with your subject. And it is true. If you want to do a photo shoot with someone, the best way you can have a great photo shoot, have great engagement first. The next one is being present. Fully immerse yourself in the moment. Pay attention to the details, the light, the shadows, and the emotions. Your presence and awareness will help you capture the essence of the scene. A lot of that, especially when it comes to event photography, we do that a lot. Being present. And shouldn't we also be present in the people with the people in our lives, right? Shouldn't we always be present? Shouldn't we always take the moment and the time to be, you know, since Adrian's in the building, so it just reminds me of, being present. When we were on our little vacation this summer, and it was so nice to just spend time with him. We have not done that quality time in years. And it was just, even though I was online here and there, it was just so good to just be present with him. It was great to be present with Nancy. It was, but the main thing was being present with him. We were in the pool, and he gets under me and lifts me up out of the water, and I'm like, this boy is gonna drive me crazy. I mean, he's a man, obviously, but he's gonna splash me into this water, and I'm gonna be not a happy camper. But it was the fun time of being present, being in the moment that that it may not ever happen again. When we're with our friends, like last night with Naya and Mimbo, we in Winter, we all spend those quality times. They are so precious to us. And I'm sure the same thing with the people you love. It is so important to be present with the people you love, present with your clients. I met someone that met Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton used to come to the stock exchange on the trading floor years ago. This is when I was working at the stock exchange. And a couple of people had the opportunity to meet him and like stand in front of him and talk to him. And they said what President Clinton had that very few individuals had was the ability to be present, to make you feel like you were the only person in the room that was important. That he had this ability to shut off everything and made you feel like you were the only important person in the world at that moment, at that time. Being present is so important. Next, pushing boundaries. Don't hesitate to leave your comfort zone. Experiment with different angles, perspectives, and techniques. Sometimes the best shots come from taking risk and trying something new. Again, this is a strategy for photographers, but it is also a life strategy. Pushing your boundaries. Hopefully this week you'll do something that pushes you. I was sharing with Chris this morning. I was like, I want to do something. I'm going to do some boundary pushings this week when it comes to marketing and advertising about my business. I'm going to try some new things this week. It is important to push the boundaries. You don't know how strong you are until you push the boundaries. You don't know your abilities until you push the boundaries. You don't know how great you really are until you push the boundaries. Next one. Fourth and last but not least, emotional closeness. Strive to capture the moments, emotions, and atmosphere. A photograph that evokes feelings and tells a story is always more impactful. Can I say that again? Emotional closeness. Emotional closeness. There's one thing to be close to people. I have to always challenge myself to be emotionally close to people. Most of the time, I'm an introvert as much as I am an extrovert. I am two people at I guess that's maybe why I'm a Pisces. I don't know. For those that believe in that stuff. And but I'm definitely an extrovert and an introvert. And sometimes I have to give myself permission to allow emotional closeness. It's good to have people on the perimeters, right? It's easy for most of us to operate with people on the perimeter, but it's something special when you allow people to be close. Emotional closeness. So again, using this in photography, strive to capture the emotions and atmosphere, and photograph that evokes feelings and tells a story is always more impactful, but it can be also used into your private life. How you deal with business, how you deal with your friends, how you deal with your family. So at the conclusion, remember, great photography isn't just about the technical aspects, it's about the passion, the connection, and the story behind each shot. So this week, let's challenge ourselves to get closer to our physical and emotional subjects and see how it transforms our work. Keep shooting, keep exploring, and keep sharing your amazing stories with the world. Happy Monday. My question to everyone this week is, how will you get closer to those that have meaning this week? How will you get closer to the people, your clients, your family? How will you get closer? Adrian, I think it was time for us to get together for your meal. Since I'm going to mention that, I said, I got to get that on my calendar. Adrian wants to cook. So I need to go over and get some of that food. Risotto. Is it risotto? Risotto, I think it is. But isn't that great? What did you get? I see Jazzy has some applause there. G says, be present in every interaction. Yeah. Yeah. And I see here, good morning, Ron. Go for it. I'm listening and working out. Daisy is in the building. Daisy is in the building. Yes. Okay, there we go. There we have it. Okay, it is. What time is it? Is it time to let you? Yeah, we're early today. Can you believe it? We're early today. So guys, again, make sure you are getting ready for the election today. The election is, we are in election season. It is time to vote. Some people have already started voting. So let's really get out there. Early voting is started. Make sure you're on the rolls. It's so important. Anthony says, I made short ribs and mushrooms risotto last night. Yes, I said, I love that, G. Being present is underrated. Absolutely, Jazzy. Okay, guys, this was an easy to touch base daily. It was your motivation Monday. I hope it encourages you. Again, for those that are in the Patreon community. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I want to make sure I do. I'm trying to make sure I do this at the, in between. One is, I want to say, if any of you are looking for photography lessons, make sure you can do that. You can hit me up and we can set up some virtual classes for you if you're into that. Also, I am beginning my campaign on event photography because we are in that season. There's lots of activities going on. If you have a coworker or your business somewhere in the country, I fly everywhere for photography, and you are looking for a photographer with some expertise in event photography, you may want to hire me. So if you are interested, or you can recommend me to your coworkers or your colleagues, your bosses or whatever, and we can get some photography in. And last but not least, I want to also thank my Patreon sponsors and supporters. I need to be more consistent with this, and I'll make sure I do this every day for all of our slots, so people know who is supporting Thank you for the Patreon community. Thank you for Rolling Clouds and Etrimus for supporting our community. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. I got it in there. I got it in there. Guys, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Get out there and get close to your subject. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I think we're good.